Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Kelly. I represent Ward 13, the old Brooklyn community, which is where we are at Low Park on Ralph Avenue, in an area that has been the subject of multiple burglaries. And first of all, I want to thank, looking out here, I see a lot of people that were at the community meeting we had last Thursday. We're here on a much happier occasion. We're here to let the public know that there has been an arrest made in this case, and we believe that we got the main perpetrator. And it didn't just happen. It happened because of this community coming together. It happened by working with the Cleveland Police Department. The arrest was able to be made because of the collaboration between the Cleveland Police Department and the U.S. Marshals, and with the community, the Division of Police, the U.S. Marshals, we all came together and we got the person we wanted to get. He was arrested along with his mother and 2 other juveniles, and we believe that there are other arrests to come. So what I'd like to do is just thank the community for your vigilance and being here. B, thank the Cleveland Police Department for the amount of extra attention that this area's got, and want to thank all the law enforcement, all the community that worked together to get this done. One person that I worked with very closely during this is my colleague, Councilman Brancatelli. Our wards border each other, and we shared this rash of burglaries, and we've both been working to try to come up with information to make this arrest happen. We came together and offered reward money, and I know that Councilman Brancatelli has been working every bit as hard as we have over here. He had a meeting at Harmony Park and was really focused on getting this done. So I'd like to introduce my colleague and my friend, Councilman Tony Brancatelli.
Thank you, Council President. Thank you all for being here, and certainly it is both a bittersweet day when you have the arrest that you have of both the juveniles as well as the adults, but sadly it's just a mark of what we've had to deal with over this past month with over 30 break-ins in our neighborhood. The good news that comes out of this is the meeting that Council President had, as well as the meeting that I had, working with Old Brooklyn CDC and our safety departments. It's great to see the residents come out. We had hundreds of people coming out to our meetings, which really reminds us how good of a neighborhood that we have. It reminds us that we have to be really diligent and turning our lights on, talking to our neighbors, sharing information, having those old-fashioned organizing efforts, coming together to say organizing does make a difference, talking to your neighbors does make a difference, and being in a strong, stable neighborhood. That's what we're building, neighborhoods of choice that make a difference, where people will say, we want to stand together, and that's what worked, and we want to really thank our officers and all the safety forces that made this happen, and want to thank our mayor, who really stepped up and said, this is important to all of us in our neighborhoods, and welcome Mayor Jackson to the microphone.
Thank you. Everything that we do and we're successful at, we do as a community, as a partnership, in collaboration, and public safety is no different. It's a partnership with our law enforcement, the partnership with the community, the collaboration, the information that we received. It led us to what you see today, the arrest of people who were basically terrorizing not just this neighborhood, on the west side neighborhoods, on the east side, and if I understand it correctly, other municipalities in this general area. So making this arrest will solve a lot of stuff, but it means we still have to stay vigilant in what we do, and we have to stay watchful, because it is your watchfulness and your diligence that really has helped us to do what we needed to do in order to make this a success. Just last week we had a press conference in another part of the city up at Luke Easter Park, where I think there were about 18, is it, Chief? 14 violent criminals were arrested who were part of violent gangs, who were arrested for shooting, armed robbery, and all those kind of things. So the effort that we need from not only the community, but the effort we've gotten from them and from the partnership with our law enforcement has really helped us be successful in this. So I'd like to introduce the Chief of Police, Calvin Williams, who will give you a little bit more details about this particular case.
Thanks, Mayor. Good afternoon. First off, I want to thank our community for coming together to make sure that our officers had as much information as possible to, first of all, identify these folks and to be able to track them down. As the mayor and council president Kelly stated, we can't do this alone. This is always a community effort whenever things like this happen, and our community is probably the biggest part of this. So I definitely want to thank the community for coming out. I want to thank Council President Kelly, Councilman Brancatelli, for having the leadership to get folks together, to keep the dialogue going, to keep the information flowing to us, to our officers and investigators, to bring resolution to this. There was a lot of hard work put in by our officers from the 4th District, the 2nd District, the 1st District, as well as our gang impact detectives and our newly formed NICE unit and tracking these people down. I also want to thank our Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Department for their help in this. But most of all, I definitely have to thank my friend, our partner, Peter Elliott, the Marshal for the Northern District of Ohio. The work of that task force, U.S. Marshals Violent Fugitive Task Force, sometimes goes unnoticed, but they do a lot of hard work in getting a lot of very dangerous people off our streets day in and day out. So with that said, I want to bring up my friend Marshal Elliott, and he'll talk about the apprehension. Marshal.
Thanks, Chief. Well, thank you. To echo on what the mayor said, Calvin, our councilman said, I just want to thank the community for our partnership. That's what led to this arrest today. We have a great partnership here in Northern Ohio with our police department, our sheriff's department, the local police departments throughout Northeast Ohio, and our federal agencies. And we all banded together once again. That led to the arrest of this individual at the Red Roof Inn today in Independence. It was great police work, great following up, and great tips from the community. That made a difference out there. So I'd like to again thank the community for their partnership. We hit the place this morning, 9 o'clock. He was in there, his mother was in there, who assaulted a police officer in the past and was wanted on a warrant. And also 2 juvenile sons of hers were also in this place, both wanted on warrants. So there's 4 individuals wanted on warrants when we hit the place this morning. It's sad in a lot of ways. But this is bigger than Cleveland. You got calls all the way from Geauga County, other suburbs today. This individual is a suspect in a number of different communities, from Twinsburg to Solon, across Northern Ohio, Mentor, in a number of burglaries, and he's a suspect in all those cities. I think there may be potential charges coming out of some of those cities on him and other family members. But, we have a good thing here in Cleveland. At the end of the day, our task force started many, many years ago with about 37 departments. We're up to 125 departments. We're 350 men and women strong. And it has been a great success, but it's because of the men standing behind you and the men and women in the field that are making a tremendous difference every single day. And I want to thank our councilmen, and for not too many people will give money out of their own pockets, at the end of the day, to get these individuals off the streets. That shows you and tells you a lot about Cleveland. And again, our mayor here has been a great partner for many, many years, along with the chief. And I'm very proud to just be part of this. So thank you.
Okay. Questions from the media or from the public?
Either Pete or the chief, how many total communities are we talking, and how many total burglaries are we talking?
Well, I'm not sure on a number. I know I've had conversations, my people have had conversations with a number of different communities, so we'll find that out. But it stretches all the way to Summit County, to Lake County. The mother, I just talked to Bainbridge police officer, the mother back last July was out in Bainbridge, Ohio, and stole some items out there. There was a 100-mile-an-hour chase with her that ended up in Cleveland. And then she tried to run over a deputy sheriff from Geauga County and was charged with that. So today she was wanted on a probation violation, for not showing up for court and so on. So I think there's going to be a number of charges, is my guess. There's nothing as of today, but there may be a number of charges coming from a number of different communities.
Was the whole family part of this burglary ring?
I don't know that, but it's a possibility.
And with him showing tendencies of violence, was this arrest violent, or was it?
Well, it's like every other arrest that we have, we take them by shock and awe. So we always keep the element of surprise on our side. That's why our guys are good, right, Kelvin?
That's right.
and they were able to get in there today, and when none of them were expecting it, they were all in the room at the same time. It wasn't a big room, and we made the arrest on them in there. I'm not sure how long they were going to stay there. I'll tell you this, they had a big cooler full of bologna and a number of other items, so I don't think they were going to be leaving anytime soon.
What is it about these?
Nothing wrong with bologna, by the way. For the record.
What is it about these individuals that made them just so slippery, so tough to catch?
You know what? It's sad in a lot of ways. I don't have the answer to that. I don't have the answer, but they were not slippery. Literally the prosecutor, and I want to thank Michael Malley and his office. He actually reached out to us Saturday on this case. And I know Mike's in Europe, so he could not be here today.
Just happens to be an Old Brooklyn resident. So.
Oh, he does. All right, that's good to know. But Mike reached out Saturday and asked for our task force to be involved. We already were. I hate to say this, but this kind of took longer than it usually does for us. At the end of the day, he wasn't that good. Sometimes it takes us in the community to come together as one, so we try to follow up on everything, if that makes sense. I was in there last night just watching my guys and Kelvin's guys and all of our guys working together on this, and we had every single person covered that they knew. If you went on 480 or 77, you saw his picture up on every single billboard. Tips continue to come in from the public. That's what makes a difference. In this case, there was a number of tips that came in from the community, and our guys were able to piece that together, and our detectives and investigators piece all that together, and that led to that door today in Independence, Ohio.
What are the ages of the juveniles?
They're juveniles. So
Can you give us
No.
are they teenagers, or can you give us
they're juveniles. So they're under 18.
Do you anticipate any other additional arrests coming out?
Sure. I mean, I think I think individuals were harboring them, so we got to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at a lot of other charges. I think Kelvin and his detectives and investigators have been working nonstop on this. They've pieced a lot together, all throughout Cleveland. And again, it's more than Cleveland. It's a lot of different communities, but CPD did a ton of work on this thing.
All right, what else?
This woman sounds like a modern day Bob Barker.
Yeah, it was.
What, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a great operation, and for the community out here, I think we really have to, we all understand that the Cleveland Police Department has limited resources, but hopefully you have all seen the cars that have been in the neighborhood. You've seen the presence that the chief made available to our neighborhood, and between the chief and the commander and the CSU unit, and I know Sergeant Woima has been through, he was at our meeting, he was at the Harmony Park meeting, but we really do need to take a look at how fortunate we are in this community that the police were able to devote the number of resources that we had to make this a reality. So thank you, Chief.
And do you all have a mugshot of the mother? Is there a mugshot available?
No, not right now. We'll get you one.
And you can pull that up on the Cuyahoga County website. She was actually charged by the Cuyahoga County, so I think you'll be able to find her on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
Have any other guys with them? Yeah,
The mom and the two
Well, I mean,
juveniles.
this little gang,
There's been a few arrested previously.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought maybe there was still one there,
And what's the mother's name?
Her mother's name is Mary Leach, Leach.
Yes.
I just want to say thank you to the police officers for cooking.
All right.
You guys got to get her on TV. Come
Yeah.
on. That's the most important
Yeah,
step.
exactly. Exactly.
All right, thank
All right, thanks everybody.
you.
Thanks
Wanna come behind
everybody
the microphone?
for being involved
Come
in
on.
this one. Yeah.
Come on.
Me too.
She wants
Go
to
ahead.
say it.
Yeah. There you go. Ready?
Go down. Wait a minute. Does that go down?
There you go.
I just wanted to thank the people who caught the person.
All right. Good job.
You did very good.
You
I
did
think
great.
you have a future
You
there.
did great. Yes.
Future council person.
Yes.